Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I so apologize for the last little bit. Things have been kind of driving me crazy, to say the least. And well, to be honest, I have had my bout of depression. Things are not exactly the way I'd like it to be. And just certain things trigger me, whether it be my past or things that are happening in my present or worrying about the future because of the stuff that happened in the past or it's going on in the present. So that's stuff that I can't change. But unfortunately, it got me down for quite a bit. That being said, I'm still trying. I'm trying to have a presence on YouTube as well as Instagram. I know it's only not even a 20-minute video that I put out, but there's a lot that goes into a video, even though you don't see an expensive backdrop or anything like that. My brain has to be in the right frame of mind. And unfortunately, it wasn't. But what I primarily wanted to talk to you about, things that I didn't know when I was starting Ozempic. This is my Ozempic. It's 2 milligrams in one pen. That is if you get the 0.25 as well as the 0.5 milligram. If you are using the 1 milligrams per insertion to your stomach, you're going to get a bigger pen than this one. This one's quite a smaller one. This is unfortunately a sample from my endocrinologist because my benefits got maxed out this year. And so I'm opening up the box. This is what you see when you open up the box. It basically tells you how to work the pen. I need to let you guys know you have to take this once a week. Try to take it at night. Taking it at night is probably the best bet, and you sleep really, really well. So let's open this up. You get a little pamphlet. Something that you should know that it doesn't tell you is that when you click your pen down, and I'll show you what I mean, hold this part for 10 seconds while it's in your skin. And don't let go of it until it's out of your skin. I let go of it while it was still in my stomach, and blood went back into the pen. How I know it was blood is because I sent it back to Novo Nordisk. They gave me a new one, and they tested it, and yes, it had blood deposits in it. This is what a pen looks like. You want to take this off. This is the liquid that you're going to be injecting. Now, I need to do an injection, so you guys can watch if you want to, or just skip ahead a couple seconds. This is where you get the needle, little guys, to attach to the pen. Take off that. Make sure to take it off. There's your needle. Okay, so I took this off. Okay. And then you have this that you need to take off. Otherwise, the needle, which is that big. Can you see that? It's really tiny. It goes to there, okay? I know for some of you who actually do have fears, it's still a needle. It's so tiny that it's almost like a tiny, tiny pinch. See that? It's at 0. Okay. Go to where it goes like this, those little dots, and you want to push it out. And the reason being, and I'll tell you why again, you want to do that again until you get either a big drop or, again, it squirts. Did you see that? Because you need to get the air out, okay? So that what you're injecting to yourself is just full-on liquid. Okay, so I'm going up to 0.5. Now, most of you know that is not how much I inject myself. I'm just going to do 0.5. I'll do the rest later because it's only in 0.5 increments, unfortunately. So I am going to stand up for this. Yes, I'm going to show you my tummy. If you don't want to see it, that's fine. You don't have to. Just skip ahead. So what you want to do is you want to grab a good chunk of fat. Try so that you're not hitting. See those stretch marks? Don't hit the stretch marks. Not a good idea because it'll go into the stretch marks and into the veins. Try to get it so that you're missing the vein, so you kind of have to just look just right. We got our pen primed. It's going in. So keep holding that blubber that you have in your hand. Press it down. Hear that? Okay, keep it in there for 10 seconds. Now notice how I did not release the top button. Take it out. Now you release it, okay? That way you're not getting that blood back in there. That was probably a lot easier than some of you guys thought. Don't reuse your needles. Not a good idea. I know a lot of diabetics that do, that they use it until it's dull. It's really not a good idea. There's bacteria. You get initially it out of the fridge, and then as soon as you use it, you don't have to store it in the fridge anymore. So moving forward, now that I've done the shot, there's something that you guys should be aware of. You're going to be really thirsty. So make sure to drink a ton of water. If you're feeling nauseous, which is extremely normal, do some Mio lemonade. Like this really helps for nausea. If you don't like lemon, but you want to have something besides water, do Mio Sport with electrolytes. This is Berry Burst. I find, especially when I'm craving sweets, it's good. And you really need that electrolytes because your body is basically just flushing out, and you're getting rid of a lot of weight. Especially at first, you're going to notice it drops so fast, which is really exciting. It's not going to continue that way. Maybe for some of you it will, and that's amazing if it does. But if it doesn't, you really do need those electrolytes regardless. Without electrolytes, I feel dizzy.
Is this real life?
I take magnesium, and I try to remember to take these. Take a multi-B vitamin. I take vitamin D's with 5-HTP. It really helps my sleep. Ozempic generally makes you sleepy, especially at first. And if you can, try to schedule you taking it prior to the days that you don't work. So say if you don't work on the weekend, take it on a Friday night. Some people take it in the leg. Some people don't. I am not very good at doing that. It hurts.
That really hurt.
Moving on from that, I know a lot of you guys are concerned. It is a life changer, but it is something that is good to be nervous about. Something that you should maybe be aware of as well is that you're not going to eat as much. And sometimes you're so used to eating that amount, but you really don't need it. So really, I can't stress this enough. Listen to your body. It's going to tell you that it doesn't need that much food, and that if you drink more water, it'll really help. At first, I was on, I guess you could call it the Atkins diet. It was more low carb, if anything, than Atkins. I didn't really stick with the Atkins, if you will. I had almond flour, I had avocados. It's just recently been the last couple months that I switched it up, and I no longer am doing a low carb. I still have the influence of low carb, not having a lot of sugars, and if I do, it's erythritol monk fruit blend. Throughout the day, I started actually having some of Starbucks cold brew, and that's been helping me, especially because I've been feeling quite a lag. Could be depression, I'm guessing it is, but there's been a lot of stress factors. Moving on, I've just decided to try and find things that make me happy. I'm spending a little bit of money here and there, and it makes me kind of, want to throw up a little bit. The slight improvements or the slight changes have made life a little bit more easier to deal with. So my overall side effects have not been too bad. At first, I was quite nauseated, as well as diarrhea. I found that Ozempic / Wegovy, it really helped my thyroid. It also helped with my immune system. I was quite big at the beginning. I checked and I had 53% body fat. I was 262.6 at my highest weigh-in. That being said, I didn't weigh at my largest because, well, I was terrified to see what that scale said. I wish I would have, just then I would have known where I was starting from, but I was terrified. I know a lot of people are trying to change diets overnight, and trying to just change so much. And I gotta say, I don't think that's a really good idea, especially if you're bigger, really, and food is an emotional thing, because you're still going to have those emotions, but you're going to have to try and figure out how to change your response to those emotions, because you're not going to be able to go to food all the time. Mind you, I did gain 6 pounds this last week, so I do have to change my eating right now, and it's going to suck. Let's just put it that way. Please just know that just process of elimination, just going down from, like, say 12 chocolate bars to having 9. Just start small. Like, you don't have to, just know you don't have to change everything, especially not at the drop of a hat. It is a progression and it is a lifelong change. So make it slow, make smart decisions. Don't be so hasty. It's going to take a while. I've been on this now for over a year, and in the process I've gotten to know myself a lot better. I've gotten to know who I was meant to be without all the trauma. On a side note, because of the weight loss, I've been able to get a lot stronger. Even my chiropractor couldn't believe how much upper body and back muscles I now have. Just trying to figure out how I can incorporate being active with my daily life. I'm just so grateful that today I finally had enough energy to actually make a video. Thanks for sticking it out with me.